Hello everyone, I'm back to Intoxicus Flanging. No intro music or anything. This is just a super quick channel update, just letting you guys know about some stuff real quick. So trying to keep this real short, under 15 minutes, and also trying to practice it being more concise and time conscious. I really got to work on that with some of my videos. Anyways, so first things first, Valve Index is showing up tomorrow. Thank you so much to everyone that donated. It means so much to me. Um, and just like I don't have words for how much I respect and appreciate the people that have donated towards the Valve Index. It's a huge expense, and it can also make a huge difference in getting noticed as a content creator. There is a good amount of VR content creation going on, but it's still a limited niche, so it's easier to break into that and get noticed in a more limited niche flange context. I've got a better word than niche, but it's not coming to me. But you should get what I mean. The Valve Index should help me stand out. Besides, I've been super interested in VR ever since I knew what VR was as a kid. There's this TV series way back that was about VR that really captured my imagination, and then just as things progressed, I wish I remembered the name of the series. It only lasted like a season or two, I think, but it had some really cool stuff that really made an impression on me as a kid. And there might have been other factors, but that's the main one I'm remembering inspiring me to be very interested in VR. And time just went on as like, oh, there's some VR stuff coming and it's cool, but it needs to make some more progress before it's really worth looking at. And that's the thing, is I want to have a good initial VR experience. I don't want to start with something crappy that's really early on, that's not well developed. I want to wait until it's like actually really worthwhile. And we're finally there. The Valve Index 2.0, probably the best VR headset for PC. If we're talking for consoles, that gets some more interesting discussion. There's a new Oculus, I think the Oculus Quest it is. That's pretty good, but when it comes to PC VR, the Valve Index is one of the best, if not the best. There's various things and features it has that makes it very much worthwhile the cost, at least in my opinion. And just that things lined up to even make this happen is fucking amazing. Like, this was so close just by random timing to just not being able to happen. And like, just there's the wait list is, can't do much about the wait list, and it said 8 weeks, but then it was like well past 8 weeks. It's like, I have no idea when this going came, and it came, and it's awesome. And now we're going to be doing VR content, which is the whole point of what I was rambling about. So that's one of the biggest updates, is we're now going to be doing VR content regularly. There, with the streaming schedule, that's changed. So there'll be 2 days a week. Tuesday and Thursday will be VR streaming days, and now Wednesday and Saturday will be, I'll call it flat streaming, for lack of a better term. So Wednesday and Saturdays will now be flat streaming. And I might further adjust the streaming schedule to have a dedicated like Warzone Wednesday or something. I don't know, because I want to have a day where I'm dedicated to just a flat screen online multiplayer game, at least 1 or 2 days a week. Then a couple days a week where I'm just streaming whatever flat, then a couple days a week where I'm doing VR streaming. So I might add in a couple days just to do a multiplayer game, but Warzone's a bit oversaturated as much as I am enjoying it. Star Wars Squadrons is too far off, assuming it's actually as good as I hope it is. So I don't know, I might wind up getting into Tarkov or something. I'll figure it out. But I want to do a regular multiplayer game, a regular single player game, and regular VR. So I got to figure out how to balance it. So expect one more stream schedule adjustment before I lock in a permanent streaming schedule. And yeah, with just YouTube content, going to be doing regular VR content, going to be starting with the unboxing and setup and that kind of stuff. Then we're going to stream Half-Life Alyx. And, of course, I'm going to do like a full flange and analysis about Half-Life Alyx, and just, a general analysis about where VR is and stuff. And then doing VR content as needed, just kind of like, just doing VR content like I do regular content, just VR specific. The daily flanges will include VR content when applicable, and it's just VR is going to be an integral part of Intoxicus flanging from now on. We're not going to be exclusively VR content or streaming, it's just going to become a core integral part of Intoxicus Flange, because there's so much more to gaming than VR. And being able to include VR in our content just means now we can do way more complete content when it comes to all sorts of topics. Like, you know, even when it comes to the PS5, now I feel like I'm more able to talk about PSVR and the PS5 and all that. And so, you know, I don't feel like I can talk about VR much unless I'm able to experience VR and actually do VR. So that's why it just hasn't even come up. Like, what's the point if I don't actually have it to, you know, flange with? So, and now that we do, we're flanging it, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm so excited. It should also help me cut through just the general oversaturation. There's still a good amount of VR streaming and content creation out there, but it's more of a niche. And I truly believe it's going to help me just get noticed and stand out more. But, you know, still have to put the work in and all that. It's not going to be, you know, some magic silver bullet to get me views or anything. There's just less saturation, so it's easier to stand out and get noticed within that niche. So I think that mostly covers VR. Oh, one more thing on VR. I will be streaming the unboxing tomorrow for sure. Like, that'll happen whenever I get it. So it kind of depends on when FedEx delivers it. So I can't really tell anyone when that stream is going to happen. You just kind of gotta watch out for it. There'll be a VOD. I'll upload that one to the YouTube channel. But also, quick note, I'm no longer going to be uploading my Twitch streams to the YouTube channel for two reasons. One, other people have mentioned, it just makes things cluttered and confusing with all these live streams mixed in with the regular content. Like, it's just not helpful to me in general, I think. For Stream Archive, I'm going to be starting a second channel at some point, but this leads into the second reason. I've been having the thought, and this was inspired by watching Rora Pickles specifically, where she was talking about she just deletes a lot of her streams after streaming them. And I was like, that's interesting, because now if you don't have a VOD to watch my stream anytime you want, now you're kind of more compelled to watch my stream when it's live. And I don't want to go too far with that thought, but it is something where it's like, you know, I do want you to watch while I'm live, with all respect. And, you know, I don't want to completely deny VODs. But if I don't upload them to YouTube and they're not permanently available, and you've only got like 2 weeks before Twitch deletes it on the Twitch website, I feel like that'll kind of compel people to be more likely to watch the stream over just waiting for a VOD. And maybe that's a flawed thought. We're going to try it and see, but if anyone's like, oh shit, you're going to lose all your streams, I record every stream to my hard drive. There's been some really old ones I've deleted just because I was so bad. I'm like, that can just disappear. I was really crappy at streaming back then. So there have been some really old ones I deleted because I was just like, it's just not even worth keeping. But I'm big on archiving stuff, so I have hard copies of, well, all the streams I decide were worth keeping. So, you know, I can upload them to YouTube anytime I want. So there's no worry about the Twitch, you know, 2-week time limit before they just auto delete them on you. So yeah, there'll be, and you know, I'm doing the rebrand, a lot's changing and adjusting because of that. And yeah, so just, it all kind of ties in together. The other big one is some content I've been planning for a while, and then just a bunch of variables have been getting in the way, and it's just, there's no more variables getting in the way. I gotta fucking get these variables the fuck out of my way and start flanging, and flange fucking hard and good. Take that however you will. If you want to giggle over that, please do, because that's a pretty good little accidental innuendo I slipped in there. Fuck. Anyway, where was I? It totally knocked me off my train of thought there. Oh yes, the series. So the big one is this in-game series I've thought of, which was inspired by playing Doom Eternal and realizing, hey, this whole ethical thing where people are like, oh, you don't gotta worry about being violent in Doom Eternal. We're killing demons. Of course they're evil. They're demons. Duh. Well, they're actually aliens that are demonic. And there's more to it than just, oh, they're just evil demons. I don't want to spoil any Doom Eternal plot points or lore or anything for anyone, but it gets very much not that simple anymore by the time you're done Doom Eternal. It's like, whoa, okay, there's a lot more layers to this onion than we previously realized. So yeah, it got me thinking that would be really cool and interesting to do a fun video that was like, Doom Eternal's ethics are a little bit more unclear and muddy than we initially realized. And then I was like, wait, I could do this about a bunch of games. I should just do a series about this. And I was like, wait, I can do this about more than just ethics. There's lots of things I can do where I analyze something in an in-game context, but cross it over to a real life context and like try and like have kind of kind of a meeting of a middle ground kind of flange for like in-game and real life context, and like kind of have some fun trying to apply like real life concepts to in-game and vice versa in a way that's like fun before anything, but also low-key educating people about stuff like ethics and combat and engineering and stuff like that. So the 5 main topics I've thought of for now, this might change. The first 2 are rocks. First 3, I should say, are rock solid. The last 2 I might alter. So the in-game 5 topics are in-game ethics, in-game combat, in-game science, engineering, technology, in-game psychology and culture, and the last one is in-game history and lore. And the idea is to correlate all these in-game things with real life things to like get an interesting and fun perspective that's also simultaneously educational, especially when it comes to stuff like ethics, because there's not really a lot of like clear, objective, secular education on what is ethical and how do we know what is ethical. So that leads me to, there's going to be a primer for each one of the series, because if I don't kind of set the series up, I'm going to be talking about things and people will just be totally fucking lost. I'll be talking about like objective ethics and versus subjective ethics, and they'll be like, what the fuck are you even talking about? I've never even heard of objective versus subjective ethics. So, I feel like there needs to be a primer for each topic just so we can all be on the same page. And of course there'll be people that never watch the primer, and that'll happen, but I can't worry about that. I gotta just do it as best as I think I can. So I'm going to have a primer for each one, and within the coming weeks, hopefully by the end of the month is my goal, but I've not been the best with those kind of deadlines so far. So my goal is to have all 5 primers done by the end of the month, but realistically I question that I'll probably have 2 or 3 out of the 5 done by the end of the month. But I do want to try and push myself to have all 5 done. I think I can if everything's optimal, but I've not had a lot of optimal flanging that way in my life in general, which is no excuse. I gotta figure that out and just get those obstacles the fuck out of my way so I can flange Intoxicus flanging to the best of my abilities. So yeah, the big things right now are VR content's becoming a big thing, and this in-game series. I do have other planned content. I had another series I was thinking about, but just right now off the top of my head, I'm having a brain fart on it. But I'm still working that one out, so I don't really want to talk about it too much until I have like for sure things to say about it. But it's worth mentioning just because, I'm new. There's not everything I had intended to flange is regularly flanging yet, although that's the thing. VR is going to change that, because now that people have just so amazingly generously donated what they have, I feel just even more compelled than I already did to get past the annoying obstacles that have been in my way, just get those out of my way and really flange the shit up. Like, I feel now like, I already felt like I owed it to my viewers and future viewers that aren't viewers yet to, get flanging as optimally as possible, as quickly as I can, even though like chronic illness and stuff, I've got some serious obstacles, but I'm doing my best to figure that out. Getting medications switched up. I've, switched up some meds that have actually really helped me. So hopefully going to switch up some meds that'll hopefully help with like focus and fatigue and that kind of stuff. Not quite there yet though, because, gotta take things one step at a time. But, with the chronic illness, there's just so much shit going on, not to mention just other regular life shit, and then, bigger world events. And anyways, I feel like I might be making excuses, and that's not my intent. Anyways, point is just, I gotta cut through the shit in my way and figure that out, which is a process. It takes time. It's just, I feel bad, like, I feel straight up bad and guilty that I haven't been flanging up the content as to the extent I intended to. Like, I feel like I'm letting my current and potential audience down. And now that all this Valve Index VR stuff's flanged, there's just no more. Like, it's just I am flanging, and there's no other option. So yeah, I feel the need to say that, because if I'm going to be just totally blunt and honest, I've not been as good about being consistent with content as I intended. There was a period where I took a break that was intentional, but yeah, I got a flange, and that's it. And yeah, I don't think I have too much more to say on that, other than I just got to flange this shit up, out of respect for everyone that views. Yeah, so this is a little bit rambly, but yeah, I just wanted to get this out there and just let everyone know, kind of what's going on, what's coming, because a lot's changed and a lot's changing, and there's new stuff, and it could be a little bit confusing if people are like, whoa, what's going on? All the live streams disappeared from the YouTube channel, and now there's this Valve Index talk, and all these in-game primers are going to be showing up soon. So, which is my project for the day, is to work on the in-game ethics primer and get that all, at least researched. So yeah, a lot of new stuff's coming, a lot of new stuff's flanging. One more thing. So there's before the in-game series, there's shows I had already planned, and I just want to make it clear what these shows are and what to expect from them, because I had intended to do something like that sooner, and then just shit got busy and it kind of fell by the wayside. So for the regular shows I had planned before any VR or the in-game series or anything like that, so just the regular basic core fundamental content is supposed to be the daily flange, as you already see every day again now. So that's just like daily news and topical kind of stuff. The videos are supposed to be more like 15-20 minutes. I got to get better on time on those. And yeah, the daily flange is pretty much what it sounds like. Then there's the quick flange. That's for like breaking news. It's supposed to be super short, not more than 15 minutes for a quick flange. If it's over 15 minutes for a quick flange and I can't get it down, it shouldn't be a quick flange. There's the extra flange that's kind of similar to the quick flange, but it's more like adding on to an existing topic. Like, if I do a daily flange, but I feel like I really need, another half hour to go properly deep into it, that's what the extra flange is for. Or if I do a quick flange and then, it's just if I need to do something to go into further depth that's beyond one of the regular shows, that's what the extra flange is for. The full flange is in-depth analysis of games. I don't want to call it a review, even though in a lot of ways it is pretty much going to be a review, but I don't want to mentally frame it as a review, and I don't want it framed as a review for you guys, because that's not the intent, even though there'll be a lot of parallel and crossover. Anyways, hopefully you guys can't hear that background noise, but I just gotta finish this. Anyway, where were we? Daily flange, extra flange, quick flange, full flange. What's the fucking last flange? Oh my god. I can't believe I'm forgetting that. Wow, fuck me. Goddamn brain fart. What's the last flange? Daily flange, quick flange, full flange, extra flange, and there's a fifth one. Oh, fuck! Tech flange. That's what it is. Tech flange. Tech flange is for, I can't believe I forgot that. That's for, like, teardowns, like, tutorials for repairs and stuff, like, tech analysis. So, like, when we get the PS5 and Xbox Series X, the tech flange that's the show where we take it apart and analyze all the goings-ons internally and that kind of stuff. I've already done a few tech flanges that have been more like tutorials, how to do things like changing your Joy-Con buckles. I've got a tech flange I need to finish for replacing your Switch battery for just the regular V1 Switch. It applied to the V2 Switch too, but I do need to finish up and post that Switch replacement battery video. That's been slipping my mind, but I do need to do that tech flange right away here. Anyway, so that's the 5 regular shows. Then there's the in-game series. There'll be another serialized show like that coming. It's just, I'm having a fucking ridiculous brain fart on that one. VR content's going to become a regular thing starting tomorrow, with the streams, and yeah, it's just there's a lot of new stuff flanging up, and just thought you guys should know. And yeah, I gotta work on the time limit. I want this to be 15 and we're at 20. Anyways, have a good one. Remember to bring a towel.